your tones. So you just go into that and then look for percussion. There's percussion here. Afro music normally deals with a lot of percussion. Can you hear them? So depending on what kind of percussion I want, I think I'll use this. So let me drop it there. This is also not bad. Let me drop it there. If I don't need it, I can just delete it. Remember, we are looking for a rim shot. A rim shot. Someone will say, why did I come to percussion when I need a rim shot? Why don't I go to rim shot straight up? There's a kind of rim shot here I need. I don't know if this is it. That's the rim shot I'm looking for. So I'm dropping it here. Just drag and drop. You click on you left click, drag and drop on the channel rack. Now there is something at the tail that I don't like. I want to compress it a bit, so I'm coming here to do that compression. First I'll take a bit of the beginning by doing this. It's gone off, right? Now I want to take a bit of the back, but before that let me compress. You see how tight it is now? So depending on how tight I want it, this is gone. So let me take off this end by doing a trim. I'm trimming it out. Yep. Now I like it the way it is. What I want to play is ka 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 ka, and with that it's not a steady kick. It's not a steady beat, so it means I have to create it myself. I have to identify where to feel in order to get that sound, right? So ka 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 ka. As you are doing that, you'll be looking at the marker moving around. Wherever it meets your sound, then you must insert that place, right? So let's say ka ka, it's here, somewhere here. So I'm clicking on this and let's see if it is right. It's wrong, right? So let's go to the next one, which is correct, and then the next one should come ka ka. So I'm doing this. Did you see it? But I want it continuous like that. Ka 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 ka. So since it's a repetition of this, why don't I look at the representation here and repeat it here? If this is 1 2 3 4 and I have 1, so let me count from the black. 1 2 3 4. So it means 1 will be here. Did you get that? And then the next one will be on the red. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. So if I like this, I can just continue now by observing and clicking. Observing, then I click. Observing, then I click. Just like that till the end. Now listen to it. It becomes a steady stuff, right? Now let's add our shaker. I need a shaker. You can't do Afro pop without shaker, right? So let's look for shaker. Yeah, this one. This shaker is called Kabasa. Okay, now the next thing is, how does this shaker sound in the production? How do we want it to sound? Should be so. Since I've got the sound now, let's see where we start from. So it's around this range. Let's try and see. It's wrong. That is correct, right? It's supposed to be double. So I have to add another one here. Did you get it? And then the last one. So there's another one at the back. Is it immediately or a step ahead? Let's try immediately and see. Correct. So if it is correct, I only don't like the extension. So let's do a cut at the back. Let's do a trim off. Yeah. And let's do a bit of compression and see. I think that's good. What about the attack? Let's cut off from the beginning. Alright, so let's hear this now. So how do I want it? Is it continuous? If I want it continuous, then it means I have to continue with it, right? So let's see. So another one will start here and then go. I'm copying from this, right? 2 black, 1 red. So 2 red, 1 black. Then it will be 2 black, 1 red, 2 red, 1 black. That is to say that I'll be leaving just one space in between them. You see that? So if I know that, then I just have to do this. When you click and drag, it fills automatically without you clicking one after the other. And that's what I'm doing here. And you can also click one like that. You understand? So now let's listen if we are doing the right thing or it's wrong. Alright. So our shaker is in now. I'm filling to the end. This is telling me that there is one more, which is here. Do you now get it? 2 and then back to black. So now that we have our shaker, let's listen to the beat. Now what I'm observing is that my shaker is loud. So what do? Let's talk about these buttons. These buttons are for volume down or volume up, these ones. And these other buttons are for panning left and right. When I say panning, I mean sounding in one speaker and leaving the other speaker aside. Now, this other button is to unmute or mute whatever channel you are working on. So let's say if I mute them by clicking, let's see what happens. Nothing is sounding even though I'm playing. But when I unmute this, look at it. So it means only this is active. All these ones has been deactivated. You understand? Now I did this because I want you to feel the pan I was talking about. When I move to the left, listen. It's panning just to the left. When I move to the right, it pans just to the right. So depending on what you want to do with your pan, you choose. For now, I'm not panning. But let me bring down my volume. Now, always note one thing. Whatever you are doing here has a meter here reading whatever you do here. Look at it. If I'm bringing the volume down, you can see it going down there. So that you can choose which figure you want to stop at, depending on how you want the loudness. Now let me add my kick to it. I feel it should go down more. This is not bad. Now let's add our rim shot. I'm a bit confused here because I didn't name them. So let me just name them quickly. This is my shaker. I taught you how to get to that place already. So, and then this is my rim shot. According to me, it's my rim shot. Rim shot. So now I can easily identify my rim shot. So can you hear that? I want to add my hi-hat. Let me rename that quickly. Hi-hat. So it's like the hi-hat is down. I can't hear it. So let me raise it a bit. Okay, now I can hear it. The shaker is still loud. Alright. Alright. Now that we have this, let's see what we can do with the other percussions. I feel like I should have a conga. I don't have conga in this. And African music without conga is off. You must have a conga in it. So this is my conga. Remember, if this conga is too piercing in pitch, we can bring down the pitch. Don't forget that. I taught you about that already. So depending on the kind of conga you want. So let's use this. Now I brought the volume down because I felt it's too loud. Don't mind me, I'm used to that, so I don't like loud mix. So even when I'm producing, I start doing my mixing in terms of my gain staging. Mixing your volume is called gain staging. We'll be going into that later on. So what do we create with the conga? I want something like that. Did you hear that? So now let's insert it. Let's look at the marker while we insert it. It's around this range. Boop. Boop. So boop. I know it's here. Let's see it. It's wrong. So let's try here. It's also wrong. It's also wrong. Let's go back. Right. Do you not get it? I did try an error till I got it. Is that what we want? It depends on what you want. Sometimes I may say here, depending on what I want to hear. So let me choose that because that's what I want. So I'm fixing it on the red 1, 2, 3, right? So that when I get here, I'm doing that so that when I get here, it will be easy for me to identify it. Let me play. So I have another one here, right? Another one will come around here. So I know automatically it's the third red and then the third red. Now I feel it's the same throughout. I want to do a change at the end. Let's look at that to get some dynamism into the beat. So I'm bringing it forward a bit. Let's see how that one will sound. Yeah, just a change. Alright, now my conga is in, right? Which other instruments do we have here? What are you coming to do, my guy? Let me switch you on. Let's see what you can do. Something happened, right? My rim shot is gone. Why? What happened? When you have a problem like that, just go back. If you can identify the rim shot, you just bring it back. This is it. So I'm back again, right? Thank you. Let me rename it. I don't know what I did though, but whenever you face a problem like that, that's how to solve it. Alright, so let's see what we can do with this guy. I want something like that. So let's see how to fix that. Okay. I can feel it in the range of the blacks. So let's go. Okay. I think it's in the black, the last black. It's wrong. So let's guess the red, first red. It's correct, right? So once I know it's red, first red, then I can just go and mark it out throughout because it's a constant beat. Like that. I'm done with that, right? I'm bringing the volume down. We'll come and work on the panning and all those stuff. Let's finish with all this, then we'll do the panning. My guy, what are you coming to do here? Do I need you? What can I do with this? Or we should leave it behind. What can we do with you? It's not necessary you fix in everything. No. Sometimes your sound becomes crowded. Okay, let me take my snare instead. I want to work on the snare. This snare, let's see if we can tweak it a bit. Yeah. I always love to compress my sound. I'll teach you why later on. Okay. Let's see what we can do with the snare. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Bah. Somewhere here, right? Can you hear that? Bah. So, right. Another one here. Another one here. So another one here, but have back. Correct. So let's just bring the volume down a bit. Okay, with what I have now, I think we can start working. Let's take this guy out. I'm not gonna use it, so let's just take it out. What name should I give to this guy? Let me name it kick. That's my name, you know, bro. Don't get angry. You can name it whatever thing you want to name it. I chose to name it this way, so just to identify it when I'm working. Alright, somebody will ask that what is all this stuff here? Now let me bring you back. I taught you about that the other time. Remember when we clicked on the kick, I taught you something here. Yeah, can you remember that? Automatically it's supposed to be like this when you load the tones. They'll come raw like that without anything. Are you saying it? These are supposed to come, but because FL brought these ones, the first four, he gave those 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what this guy is doing is just to assign whatever we are doing here into tracks in the mixer. Did you not remember? Yeah. So whatever number you give here would affect the mixer. You see what is happening? So when I choose track 1, it means this kick must play through the track 1. When I choose track clap, am I using you? For now, let me just leave you aside. Okay, hi-hat. I choose track 2 for hi-hat, it goes to track 2. But because I already named this one kick, so let me leave the kick in track 1 and bring the hi-hat. Clap, get down, okay? Get down when I need you. I want to do chronological arrangement. So this is gonna be 2, and this is gonna be 3, and this is gonna be 4, and this is gonna be 5. There's a very simple way to do this. I'm just showing you the hard way first. And then this is gonna be 7. You get it? So that whatever we play now will be shown in the mixer. Look at it. You see, they are all moving. They are all moving. Telling you the spikes. It's showing you the spikes in the track. We call these spikes. So now I said there's a simple way. Let me show you the simple way. I'm taking them back to default. Okay, now this is a simple way. You just double click here. When you double click here, then you come to the mixer. If the mixer is not on your screen, just come and click on this. The mixer would come. Then on the first track, you right click, then you go to channel routing. Channel routing. I'm routing these channels to this track. So you go here and then choose route selected channel to this track. When I choose the first one, everything will be routed to the first channel. Are you getting it? It's gonna be every channel will be routed to the first track. But the second one says route selected channel starting from this track. It means the first one will take the first, and then it goes like that. So let's do the first one and see what happens. Everybody will play through this. Can you see that? Everyone is playing through that, and that is why we have number 1 for all of them. And then let's do the second one. Channel routing, route through route selected channel starting from this track and see what happens. Do you see what happened? The naming we did here came here automatically, telling you that they've assigned them onto this track. Now let's see how it sounds now. And when you look at the figures, all the figures are changed accordingly. Now, the purpose of this is for you to be able to work on your various channels in the track. You see, on the mixer, that is where you can add your plugins, your compressor, your reverb, and whatsoever. You can't add them here. So you need them to pass through a channel so that you can add those stuffs inside. Now, that is what we've done. So let's continue with our gain staging. I'm not coming to the mixer yet. We'll come to mixer later on. I was just showing you how to use this button. So now it means I've taught you everything about all these buttons here, right? And the ones at the top I taught you earlier on. Now, I want us to do gain staging. Let's do a bit of gain staging here, even though there will be a special class for gain staging. I am starting with my kick. Somebody will ask why. Because it's number 1. Alright, let's go. I always want my kick to be on 70%. Then I get my other instruments alongside. And then I make sure my kick is always the loudest instrument. Now, looking on the mixer channel, you can see my kick is around 9 dB. That I'll teach you about that later on. Some kicks could be louder than that. Let's go to my hi-hat. I'm doing this while I listen to the hi-hat. I don't want it to be too loud. So I go accordingly. And then I go to the snare. I think the loudness of the snare is also okay. Alright, let's go to our kick. I would love to pan this instrument so it will not be piercing in the instrument. So it's panned to one side. That is to say that I have to balance it with another instrument at the end of the day, so that the frequency at the left will not be much more than the frequency at the right. So I need to balance with another instrument later on. Let's go on. I'm fixing my rim shot now. I want my rim shot in the center, but sometimes I could decide to pan it just a bit to balance with the other instrument. Now I'm fixing the shaker. I want my shaker to be panned to the left. Then I bring the volume down a bit. You see the sound is becoming clean just by the volume. So if you can do a very good gain staging, you could have a very wonderful, nice mix. Now listen to the conga. I want to balance the conga with the shaker. So it's going to go left if this one is right. Let's do 35% and this one to 35%. It's refusing to go 35, no problem. 36, 35, they're all the same. Now we have our kicks and whatever in the mix. What we need now is the MIDI. When I say MIDI, what I mean is the piano, the trumpet, the whatsoever. So let's insert those ones. I taught you how to insert tones. By right clicking, you just go to insert. Then you see them, a lot of them here. And I told you today we'll be working with just FL Studio plugins. I don't want to use any third-party plugins. So I need a piano from FL Studio. I think that's where I'm standing. Just right in front of me, I have the FL keys. When you click on that, the piano comes. Wow. Wonderful. That's nice, right? So let's move that down. I don't want it to be in between the instruments, the drum instrument. So let me bring it down. By clicking in front of it, when you have this green light, you press Alt on your keyboard and then arrow down. It goes down for you. I'll be teaching you a lot of shortcuts, so when I give you one, you write it down. Okay, Alt and then arrow down will bring it down for you. And if you want to go up, Alt and arrow up. It keeps going like that as you keep pressing till you bring it down. It comes down. Alright, that is that about that. Now let's go straight into this instrument. I feel it's loud, very loud. So let's bring it down here. Let's still go down a bit, just a bit. Alright. Somebody will be wondering whether I'm coming to play here with my finger. Can you see my finger there? I'm not playing there, okay? We are going to play in the piano roll. So let's go to the piano roll. Right click and then go to piano roll. Remember I told you there's always a metronome counting. In the piano roll it counts at the top. But when you are playing in the channel rack it counts at the down. So look at it. Sorry. Can you see it passing? For those of you who know how to play the piano, you get things faster here. So I'm having a course also for those who want to learn how to play the piano. When I'm done with that, I will let it out. But for now, let's go on. On the piano, everybody knows there's a key called C, and that is why automatically we have C here. If you don't know about G, A, B, and whatsoever, C there, you've ever heard of C, key C. So this key C. Now I'm pressing here to assign a play, so that when I click on play, it plays what I have assigned there. So that is to say that when you assign things inside a graph, it's going to play them for you. Can you hear that? So that if I do this, see what it's playing for me? Alright, so that is to give you an overview of what we are coming to do here. We are coming to fix in our chord. Right now I'm not playing melody, I'm playing chord first. I always like starting with my chord. And I want to go with a major chord and a minor chord. We are doing Afro music, and Afro music mostly go with major and minor chord. Although some go with just major chords, but with this I want to do minor and major chords. So let's choose the Do. I want a chord of La. Okay, let's do the chord of Do first. Do, Mi. So we know in the chord of Do it's Do, Mi, Mi, So. That's the chord of Do. Right? Those of you who don't have a MIDI or a keyboard connected to your organ, to your computer, I think this will be best for you. So just observe what I'm doing. So when you do this, very simple, right? Now let me show you a more simple way to assign your chord. When you go here, there is, it's been a long time I used this though, but I'll try to locate it. Yeah, I think it should be around this side. Yeah, now look here. My stuff is on only one. That is telling you that when I click, it's going to give me just one note. Now when I click on this, it's giving me, these are types of chords. So as an organist, you need to know how to play all these chords. It's not easy. Alright, so I was talking about major and minor chords. This is a major chord. I just choose major here. And now look at something. When I press on Do, you see it giving me automatically the other two. Very interesting, right? I believe most people wouldn't want to learn the organ again. I wouldn't teach you this, so that you come to learn how to play the piano, because you need it definitely. So it has given me the chord of Do. What if I need a chord of La? I still need to go there again? No, because I haven't assigned it. It's not working. So let me assign it. Now, if I know this is my Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, I'm scrolling down using the scroll button. You can scroll down and up, okay? So Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La, Ti, Do. Where is my La? My La is here. So if I want a chord of La, what do? I just click here. And it gives me the chord of La. Is it correct? It's wrong. For those of us who know how to play the piano, you know it's wrong. Why is it wrong? Because La is a minor note. It's going to create a minor in it for you. Meanwhile, I don't need that minor. This is the minor. For those who knows how to play the keyboard, they understand what I mean. So you just bring this down. Now, can you hear the original La? Yeah, that is it. This is the more reason why you need to learn how to play the piano, else you wouldn't know how to move this. Now I've taken it out. Let me see. Why is this guy still on what do we call it, 1? It's supposed to change to major, so I can just go on major. Alright, let's see. This is my do. So now let's see what we want to play on this beat. I want to play a simple chord, la, so, or we should use la, fa, do, so, la, fa, do. So I'm starting with my la. Remember, we have to correct this, don't forget that. Then we go to fa. You would have to wait for the chord to end where you want it to end. So la, fa, then it means I have to come here. Fa, so my fa, where's my fa? Do, re, mi, fa. So this is my fa, right? I'm doing that because of you. I know where my fa is, so don't think that I'm now counting. I know where it is. I just want you to understand. Alright, so that's my fa. Fa, then we go to do. Do, this is do, right? Do, that's one. Fa, do, then so. So what is our so? Do, re, mi, fa, so. Can you see where it is? So mark it down. Let's go here and then we play it. So automatically it has given me the chord, right? Now let's listen to it. Because we are in FL Studio, automatically the instrument will be looping to go and come. Just keep going and coming. Okay, so now let me just do a selection. I am doing the selection by pressing Ctrl and dragging, and I'll tell you why I'm doing the selection. Because I want to stretch all the instrument forward. I want it to sustain. Now listen to this. You see, it's different from this. It stops. It stops. Stops. So if you want it to stretch, you just stretch forward. Okay? Alright. There is another technique I want to teach you today. If you want to get excellent chord, there's something we call inversion in chord play. When you are playing the chord, what we just played right here is root position. We call it root position. You stand on the main note and then you assign the chord on the main note and assign the chord. But now we want to do something which is more professional. It is called inversion. Now to do inversion, it simply means that the note at the top can be sent down. Since we have this what? La, no, this mi. So we can have another mi down here. So I can decide to bring this mi down here. Sorry, I want to bring it down here. It's still the same chord, just that it becomes more matured. When you listen to the chord, you feel it's matured. Can you hear that? As compared to this, it's too noisy. So depending on what you want to do though, can you hear this? So sometimes I just do that. I mix them up. I come down and then I move it up. If you want to move it up, you press on your control key and then arrow up. It goes up for you. Can you see that? If I don't like this, so I can also bring this one to down. Control, arrow down. If you want to learn more about inversion, join my piano class. You get to know about that. So let's go on. Now we've gotten our first chord progression, and that is what we are going to base on to create every other part of the music. Now we've gotten our piano, right? Now let's add another style into this stuff. I need another melody, but I want to do some interesting thing. Just observe what I'm doing today. I'm going to work with just this chord. I'm not going to play something different. I'll be using the chord, but I'll be manipulating the chords into different things. Now let's do a duplicate of this. Do you remember doing a duplicate is right clicking and choosing what? Clone. It gives you a duplicate. Now I'm copying this guy and I'm pasting it here. I've pasted the same thing there. Now I want to mute this one first, so that it will not distract what we are coming to do. Now I told you the other time that there are some interesting things inside this button. If you can remember, when we were working on the kick, I told you I'll come back to it. Now we are coming to it. When you click on this button, now do you remember this interface? Yes, we are going to use it to create some interesting feel right now. Just listen, observe it. I'll be working with the arpeggio like I told you earlier on. Watch here, this is none. It's selected, which means nothing is affecting it. Now when I click on this, listen to what happens. You see how interesting it is? Wow, you like that, right? Now look at these two. So it's just the same chord I played, but somebody would think I'm playing a melody. It's not a melody, it's just a chord. But by assigning arpeggio, arpeggio would help you do the melody by playing with the various tones, the various notes in the chord. Now this is another one, up and down. And this is another one. And somebody will say, which one is this? It's asking you a question. The chord is asking you a question. Listen. Can you see that? Yeah. Alright, so you can choose from any of these, and you can decide to do more duplicates and use them individually, right? But I'm just choosing the first one. I don't want the sound to be muddy. Wow. Kinji, are you feeling it? I have one of my artists in the house, so alright, now let's add this piano to it and see how it sounds. See how amazing this thing can work. Now let me show you something more. You can do more stuffs with this repeat and range. Let me do something to this and you listen. Can you hear that? It's because of the range I gave it. If I go higher, it will also go higher. You see that? Yeah, interesting. So I'm just giving you all these stuffs so that those of you who are not very good with melodies, you can just use arpeggio to create your melodies. I also started like you. I started this way, but I got to a time when I started creating my own melodies because the brain has been matured to create melodies now. You understand? And you can add repeat to it. Repeat would also give you another effect. Can you see that? Can you hear that? Because of the repeat though. So you have, wow, I think I like this one. Alright, let's work with this one. Now the tones are sounding the same. This is piano, this is piano. What can we do to change this? I'm taking you to somewhere else. This is the automatic stuff that comes whenever you open the piano. We have some range of piano here. We have Rode, we have normal piano, we have grand piano, we have, and then we have the organ. So let's try them and see which one picks this better. Which one do you feel better? I think this one. This is the default. This one. The organ. I will go for the Rode. Don't worry, we'll add some effects to it and it's going to be so much interesting. Now look here, there are some buttons here. We can also tweak to get something different. This is why I would like FL till I die. I'll keep working with FL because it's giving you a lot of room to be creative. As I'm working with these things, just see how they behave. Can you see that? Are you enjoying it now? It's acting more like a reverb or something. And this is also another effect. Depending on what you want to do, there are a lot of creativity with this stuff. If you want it to be more treble, like more treble. If you want to reduce the treble, there are a lot of stuffs inside here. That's good, right? I like this. I like this. This is mild, not noisy. So you see, the same tone I chose here, I was able to manipulate it to get something different. That is how they create the plugins we do use. Let's assume I did this and then I save it as with a name. It becomes a plugin and people would want to use the tone. So you can also be creative to create your own tones without using external plugins, right? All right, let's go on. Let's add the main piano and see. Wow. But I feel we need a pad. Do you all know what pad is? Pad is more like the strings. So I told you I'll be working with just chords. I'm not playing any melody till I'm done with the chords. Now I want to do a duplicate, or let me insert a new stuff. I'm showing you another stock in plugin that is from FL, so that if you don't have any other third-party plugin, you can still work. It is called Morphing. Morphing, this is it. There you can get a lot of tones. Are you getting it? When you click here, it gives you the channel to the tones. You can see there is pad here. So the kind of pad you want, you can just come here and then choose. Let's start from here and see. Press on your keyboard. If you don't have a piano, on your typing keyboard, press any button there. Beneath, you can use it to play. There's the Y. Is it the Z key? Is supposed to play the key C for you. So when you tap on it, you can use it to change the tone, to know the kind of pad you are picking. You understand? Remember, you can tweak the tone, so don't worry. If you feel it's not sweet to your ear, you can go and tweak it to fit whatever you want. Let's see. We have a lot of them. This is nice, though. But I don't know if it will be good for this music. I saw something at the top. Let me see. Maybe I'll be using that one instead. I prefer this one, but I'm going to do a bit of tweaking. My attack should go down. Then my sustain, decay, release, sustain. You know why it's going more? Because of the release. When I bring it back, you see short. If you want it to sustain, you can give more release. So also you can work on your EQ here. It has a lot of EQ settings here. If I feel I have too much treble or too much bass, you can go and do all those tweaking there. We'll talk about EQ later on in another class. So let me just use this. Let's copy the chord. I told you I'll be working with the same chord. I'm copying the same chord in here. Now I know this guy is normally loud, so let me just bring the volume down before it starts making noise. I want to hear that alone. You see it's sounding on a high octave, so it becomes a bit noisy. Hold your control key and then press arrow down. It moves it to another octave downwards. Can you see that? If you feel it's still too piercing, you can still go down more. And this is messy, more messy. So let's take the middle one. Now let's bring the volume down. We have another volume control here. I prefer bringing the volume down here than here, because if there's any problem, I can solve the problem here first before it gets out. Okay, decay, go back a bit. Do you see that? You can also use that for another effect. So that is to say that we can create a copy, we can clone this and then assign that. I'm pasting the same thing. You can assign what I did by taking off the decay. See, that's also very interesting. I don't want sustain. Yeah. We can use that to create an effect in the song. Alright, so now let's on these stuffs, these three. Now let's add all the instruments. Let's make sure all the instruments are playing. Go here, everything is on. I'm bringing down my shaker. I feel it's too loud. How do you see the beat? With just one chord I played, I've been able to create a lot of melodies. Can you see that? Let me create another interesting melody with a chord melody. So let me insert. Okay, let's go to Morphe and do a cloning again. I'm using the same chord, just look at it. But I'm going to do a bit of tweak inside the piano roll. Now let's go into the piano roll. Okay, before that, let me change the tone first. I need something more like a marimba. I should get that in percussion, marimba or a vibraphone. I think this vibe will be okay. Alright, let's go. Now let's solo just that line and go to piano roll. Now look at it. I want to do something. I'm selecting all by Control A. You can select all. Aside what I taught you like this, you can also do Control A to select all. Oh, that is not part of the work, sorry. So now when I click on Control A, it selects everything. Now I want to do this. I'm bringing it down very short. Can you hear that? That's another melody, right? It's a chord. But now I want to do something. Hold your shift key on the keyboard and drag. What has happened? It has given me a duplicate, right? Now listen to this. Can you hear that? So I'm beginning to create another melody with the same chord I drew. I'm adding one more. You see that? Now I want to do a bit of tweak. By doing this, just look at me. I'm doing something. I'm selecting, hold on Control and Shift, select the very last one I did, like that. And now press on Control key up, the arrow up, and listen to this. Can you see that? So we've been able to create another nice melody with the same chord I just played. I haven't played any other melody apart from the chord. Can you hear that? Very interesting, right? Let's add our pad. Now the stuffs are becoming complicated, so let's rename them. Let's rename this as the vibe, and then we'll rename this as not sounding, so let's rename the pad. The top one is the pad. This is our grand piano, so let's save that as grand piano, J piano, and this is road. So what name should we give to this guy? Let's listen to it and find a name for it. I'll name it synth pad. It's a pad, but just it's synthetic, right? So synth pad. Wow. Okay, then you press enter. So now that we have these 5 stuffs, I think it's enough for me for now. Even though in Afro pop we need some lead guitar. Okay, you let me teach you how to create melodies. Let me insert lead guitar. I'm still in Morphine. I don't want to use any third-party plugin. So Morphine, I'm showing you where you can get some sweet lead guitar. Go to strings, and then the second guitar there is so palatable. You see how sweet it sounds? Okay, so let's just close that. We are going to use it to create some melody. Let me name it lead guitar. Alright, what can we create? Let's look for a melody. Pad, sound for me. Afro kick, sound for me. I think I need a rim shot. Okay, let me add my piano. So lead guitar, what can you play? We'll create something like that. You know, you need to develop the skill for introducing melodies, and you can only develop that by listening to sweet melodies. That is the secret, so that when it's sounding, you can be creating something alongside with your mouth. You know, creating with your mouth is very interesting and simple, but making it sound in the beat is the problem. So let's get to that. So I said bang, 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 bang. So that is, if I should interpret that, it's gonna be mi, do, so, mi, fa, do, mi, right? If you don't know how to play the piano, you can't do this. So since I know the notes now, you can write it down. Mi, do, so, mi, fa, do, mi. Write it down. So let's go. Mi, do, so, mi, fa, do, mi. So can you see what is happening? Now I want to play melody, but chord is still coming. So what do? We have to go back to change from chord, from melody to chord to melody. Only one. I need just one. So me, it's still coming. Why? Okay. So none. What about that? Good. So it's none now. Mi, do, so, mi. Mi, you see where it's coming? Mi, do, so. So you see, just as we did with the beat, you keep moving till you get the right stuff. Mi, do, so, mi, do. I know this is my do. Mi, do, so, mi, do, so. Alright. Mi, do, so. So my so has to come immediately. Mi, do, so. Mi, do, so. It's too fast, right? Mi, do, so. That's it. Mi, do, so, mi, fa, mi, fa. Mi, do, so, mi. Mi, do, sol mi fa. It's fast. Mi do sol mi fa. This is why you should learn how to play the piano. If you know how to play the piano, you just play it on the piano without doing all this arrangement. So learn how to play the piano, okay? All right. Mi do sol mi fa do do. Mi do sol mi fa do mi. Mi do sol mi fa do mi. This me, right? Mi do sol mi fa do mi. Mi do sol mi fa do mi. Should we repeat the same thing? I think the same thing would work. So let's just repeat the same thing. You see, I'm repeating it. I selected and press the shift key like I taught you the other time. Then you drag. Let's do a change here because I feel there should be a change somewhere here. So let's go. Fa. Let's make that one so. Do you know why I chose saw there? Because this melody fell on where the saw was in the chord. You know, it's la, fa, do, so. So I chose to change the melody there so it will rhyme with the chord. Do you now understand? And you know, in the chord of so we have T, we don't have do, we don't have mi, we don't have. So let's just use the so and then this do, let's change it to T and see how it will sound. This is me. In chord of so we have so, T, re. So let's change this to re. Now listen to this. You see that? You can only do this if you are good at the piano. So you need to learn how to play the piano. I'm emphasizing on that because beat making has to go with piano. If you are not good at piano, you can't create great melodies. I bet you. That is the fact. You can keep doing try and error, but you'll never be able to challenge someone who can play the piano. That is the secret. So you must be part of the piano class. All right. I want to add a bit of effect to this guitar. Let's see. Alright, I believe I have delay here also. I cannot delay here. Do you see the effect? It's too much, so let's bring it down. If I want more of the highs, I can raise this. Can you hear that? Very interesting. This is good, right? Let's leave it at 50. Yeah, it's under. So now that we have this, I'm adding one last instrument, which is the bass. Then we are done. I told you I'm not going to use any third-party plugin, so I'm still going to use bass from FL Studio. We have a boom bass here. Let's see how it sounds. If it's not sweet, we change it, right? Okay, so let's see. Hey, Mr. Bass. Okay, we can do some tweaking here also. Wow. Wow. Interesting. Let's see. Crazy. Alright, I like this. We can use that for our production. Now let's add a bass. Can somebody suggest how the bass should go? Okay, based on what we are hearing, I always want to work with my kick, my rim shots, while I generate something new, right? I don't want things that would mess up with me. And then maybe my piano, Let's see how. And let's add our pad. I always love my kick to go with the bass guitar most times. So I can create something like boom, 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 boom. So my first note on the bass would go with the kick to have that push. Boom, 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 boom. So let's do something like that. From playing on my lips, I have to interpret it into the keyboard. From what I just played, I can sense la la because I started with the la note. This is lighter, so let's go down. Right, and I can go down more. No, I don't like that. I like this. So let's go. My first note is with the kick, so let me just assign that first note, which is la. So I want it la la. La 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 la. Hey, why? Good. Okay, so once we have la la, and the next chord is fa fa, fa fa. Do do. So this should be do do. The top do. Do. Fa fa. Do do. So so. So so. I'm just using the same chord progression. No, it is la fa do so, and that is what I used to play. I told you everything has to be based on your chord progression. I want to add some dynamism inside, so I need something like the jiggy. So let's go. One more. Now with this, I'm going to do a bit of panning like I taught you the other time. I didn't come to this button, but it's just like what I taught you in the graph. So let's come here. Can you see pan here? There is pan. Yeah. I want to pan the bass to sound do 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 in the speaker, left and right. Do 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 do. Right? So we're going to pan one left and then one right. One left and one right. Let's listen to that. I'm clicking here to listen. Can you hear that? So when you're listening your headset, you can feel it like that. Somebody would ask, why didn't I pan all the way up? It's gonna be so massive in your ears, so I don't want that problem. You see it? So I normally like panning about half of it. You got it? Alright, so this is how to pan your stuff in the piano roll. Let's close that. Wow. My artist is doing something on the beat already. You can see that. Okay. Do you know one interesting thing? The beat is beginning to sound like amapiano. And I told you we're going to fix something a bit from amapiano right inside. So let's see how we fix that. There are certain elements in amapiano beat. Once you listen to them, you get to know this is amapiano. Let me give you those elements. One is the what do we call it? Shaker. It sounds like that. And then we have another instrument that normally sound ta 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 like that in amapiano beat. Take note of that. And then normally the bass sometimes will do some rolling and all those stuff and all those things. We're going to add those stuffs into this beat and let's see how it's going to sound now. So it means that we need another shaker and then maybe one more tone. I'll be using a tone from, what do we call it, muffin. Now let's see if we have trumpet or something, wind instrument. We get it from wind. Okay, let's go with trombone. Yeah, I like this one. So we have that. Let me name it before I forget. Trombone. You notice I always want to name my plugins. Yeah, it's very important, else they will mess you up. Okay, now I talked about shaker. Let's see if we can get another shaker. Now I'm moving into another stuff where you can get instrument. It is called vintage. I don't know if you've heard of vintage before. Go into vintage. Where is vintage? Inside packs. I think vintage should be inside legacy. Drums. Yeah, that's vintage. You can also get African instruments from that place. Do you remember this instrument? What's the name? Let me use it to replace the clap. Clavin. I want a shaker. This is one of the shakers I'll be using. I also use this for the piano stuff. Alright, I don't want to use more. See, the more I go, I'm tempted to do more stuff. Let's just tweak this guy. It seems to be too long, so let's tweak it a bit. Yeah, I think that's good. That's what I'll be using for the. So for us to achieve that, the first one is, let's mute and then, okay, this is the first one. I want something like that. So okay, so the first one, that should be the long one. Okay, on the beat. Sometimes I may be doing the wrong thing. Beat, go, let me hear you. So the first one is a short one. Can you hear that? So this is what I'm doing. Don't mind me, I left you behind. Just follow me. Our time is going, so we have to be fast. Just follow what I'm doing. I want it to sound. I always told you I like balancing my volume as I work. So let's add it. You are beginning to feel I'm a piano, right? Okay, so let's add our. There's one instrument I said I was going to be adding. Our first note was what? La. So I want to add just the la throughout the song. So I'm going to add it just throughout at the third point. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. Every bar 1, 2, 3. I'm giving you some strategies to easily get that stuff. So I'm doing a copy of that to the back. I may change this bass. I don't like the bass. Alright, let's change the bass. I think we can get a better bass guitar from Muffin. Bass. Let's save our work. Let's save our changing the name of my bass to bass. Now everything is inside. So let's go on. I've brought back every stuff. Now we are moving to the next stage, where we are going to arrange all these. I told you that I normally play everything in one channel rack, but at the end of the day I separate the whole project into different patterns. And this all was done in pattern 3, but I'm moving everything to pattern 1. So I selected all, Ctrl X, cutting it off to pattern 1. I'm pasting it now, Ctrl V. So now that I've pasted it, I am going to deselect every stuff. I want all my drum elements to be in one pattern, right? And then every other element should go away. So I'm taking my drum element from pattern 1 to pattern 2. Now I have every other drum element here. Okay, I have the piano style here also. Let me move that to pattern 3. Then now I'm going to separate the chords, leaving the part behind. Whichever one I'm leaving behind, I'm going to deselect. It means I've left it behind. So I'm taking all this out. Do you get that? Then I go to another pattern, paste, Ctrl V. Then I right click again to deselect again another pattern. Then I take the rest all off to another pattern, paste. I deselect the next one again. Then I cut again, Ctrl X. Then I go again, Ctrl V, paste. I deselect again by right clicking on that button. Then I Ctrl X again, cut. Go to the next pattern, paste, Ctrl V. I deselect, cut again. I go here again and paste. I deselect again, cut. Go back here again and paste. I deselect again, cut. Go back to paste. That is interesting, right? Now that we have them all in different patterns, it means that I can just play this and I'll hear just the pad. When I move to pattern 2, I can hear the drum elements, which I will be separating later on again. When I go to pattern 3, I have the piano shaker stuff. I go to pattern 4, my synth pad. Then I go to pattern 5, my vibraphone is there. Then I go to pattern 6, piano. Pattern 7, Rode. Pattern 8, lead guitar. Pattern 9, trombone. Pattern 10, my bass. And then that's all. So now that we have them separated, we can work with them separately. Okay, so now let's do the arrangement. I didn't come to this button, but it's just like what I taught you in the graph. So let's come here. Can you see pan here? There is pan. Yeah. I want to pan the bass to sound do 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 in the speaker, left and right, do 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 do, right? So we're going to pan one left and then one right, one left and one right. Let's listen to that. I'm clicking here to listen. Can you hear that? So when you're listening your headset, you can feel it like that. Somebody would ask, why didn't I pan all the way up? It's going to be so massive in your ears, so I don't want that problem. You see it? So I normally like panning about half of it. You got it? Alright, so this is how to pan your stuff in the piano roll. Let's close that. Wow. My artist is doing something on the beat already. You can see that. Okay. Do you know one interesting thing? The beat is beginning to sound like amapiano. And I told you we're going to fix something, a beat from amapiano, right? Inside. So let's see how we fix that. I told you that I normally play everything in one channel rack, but at the end of the day I separate the whole project into different patterns, and this all was done in pattern 3, but I'm moving everything to pattern 1. So I selected all, Ctrl X, cutting it off to pattern 1. I'm pasting it now, Ctrl V. So now that I've pasted it, I am going to deselect every stuff. I want all my drum elements to be in one pattern, right? And then every other element should go away. So I'm taking my drum element from pattern 1 to pattern 2. Now I have every other drum element here. I have the piano style here also. Let me move that to pattern 3. Then now I'm going to separate the chords, leaving the part behind. Whichever one I'm leaving behind, I'm going to deselect. It means I've left it behind. So I'm taking all this out. Do you get that? Then I go to another pattern, paste, Ctrl V. Then I right click again to deselect again another pattern. Then I take the rest all off to another pattern, paste. I deselect the next one again. Then I cut again, Ctrl X. Then I go again, Ctrl V, paste. I deselect again by right clicking on that button. Then I Ctrl X again, cut. Go to the next pattern, paste, Ctrl V. I deselect, cut again. I go here again and paste. I deselect again, cut. Go back here again and paste. I deselect again, cut. Go back to paste. That is interesting, right? Now that we have them all in different patterns, it means that I can just play this and I'll hear just the pad. When I move to pattern 2, I can hear the drum elements, which I will be separating later on again. When I go to pattern 3, I have the piano shaker stuff. I go to pattern 4, my synth pad. Then I go to pattern 5, my vibraphone is there. Then I go to pattern 6, piano. Pattern 7, Rode. Pattern 8, lead guitar. Pattern 9, trombone. Pattern 10, my bass. And then that's all. So now that we have them separated, we can work with them separately. Okay, so now let's do the arrangement. Let's do the arrangement. So let's see how we start our beat. Let's choose the element to use first. Somebody may say I should start with this, which is not bad. Alright, there was something I didn't do before coming here. Did you remember I assigned all the drum elements to the mixer track, but I didn't assign to the MIDI element, right? So let's do that quickly before we continue with the arrangement. So I'm selecting all of them so that I can assign them to the mixer track. You go to mixer, don't forget, we ended at number 8. So now I'm going to continue from number 8. So you right click on number 8 and tell it starting from this point. So it's giving me the rest on the mixer track, and then when you check here you can see the numbering chronologically. It's on point. So whatever you play here will show here in the mixer. We'll come to that later on. Now we can do our arrangement. Remember, whenever you're working you should be saving. Ctrl S. Alright, if you want to save you can just go here, file, save as, then you type in whatever name you want to save with. So let's say this is production class 1. Okay, then we save that. Now we can continue with our arrangement. Since our elements are separated, you can hear them individually. This is where my drum is, and this is where my piano shaker is. So I can choose to do something like using the pad, the first pad, and then the piano shaker. Let's see how it sounds. Now remember, if you don't click on song, you can't play from here. Okay, let's see. Alright, let me do something interesting. I want this instrument to sound, but not from the beginning. So what can I do to help that? It's a professional class though, but let me just show you. Now go here. What you are seeing here is volume. So you can just start the volume from the bottom and you go up like that. So the instrument will also sound like that. Are you getting it? So it goes in like that till it becomes loud. Now listen to that here. Oh, what did I? Okay, I did just one. It's supposed to be 2 instruments. Sorry. So I'm supposed to do to this also. Do you understand why now? But there is a professional way to do it for it to affect both of them. But that will be done on the mixer. I don't want to go to the mixer today because there's a lot of stuff on the mixer to learn. Now look at this. You see it's coming up gradually. Wow. You see that? Very good. So remember that what I've done here has affected this, and if I need this same thing again somewhere, it's going to be a problem. It means I have to correct it. So normally the best thing to do is, before you do any tweak to instruments like this, you normally go here, right click and do make unique, so that whatever you do will not affect the old one, the old version. You understand? So let's assume the old version is the number 3. Let me correct it back. You can correct it back just by selecting this way. You click and drag, then it will correct it back for you. You see? So now I have that there. This I just want it at the beginning. That is why I want it unique. So from the beginning, let's go. I want to introduce my lead guitar inside. Let's go. So it's gone back again because there's nothing continuing it. So let me use the number 4 to the number 3, which is the default, to continue, so that the volume wouldn't come down again. I feel like this is very loud, right? You write a song. I'd left you, and don't worry, I'll be back with you. Alright, so let's go now. I was trying to correct some mistake. I feel these things are loud. Let me bring them down a bit. Okay. So which element should come next? What is this? Okay. I think this can also come in. So let's go. Let's listen to that. This is how you arrange stuffs on the bar. In the playlist, this is how you arrange them. Every element should take its own track so that you can see them separately. So I feel the bass guitar should come in here. So just the end of it. I'm using just the end of it. Alright, let's go. That is to say that my kick and rim shot should come in here. Are we starting with chorus first or verse first? That depends on the artist. So with my arrangement, I'm starting with the chorus first. So now we'll move into the verse. So in the verse, I'm going to do a bit of change in the drumming, in the drum elements. I will take some things off. So because of that, I'm going to do what? Make unique. So that I can do a change in that pattern. And it would not affect this pattern. So let's see. Which elements should I take out of the stuff? I think I only need my shaker and my rim shot. Let's take off every other stuff, the snare and the rest. Yeah, I want it just like this. So let's take these two stuffs out. I even wish to separate this guy too, the conker. So at a point I can bring it in and then take it out again. So let me separate that also onto a different track, a pattern, sorry. Alright, so now since we are entering the verse, I'm just doing shift copy, right? I believe you understand that. So I will not be confused about what I'm doing. If you are confused about these stuffs here, you can just mute your beat and then go back to pattern and you click on them to know what is inside. Okay, that's the conker. This is the bass. So for you not to be confused, you can do your renaming here also. That is one thing about FL. To make things simple for you, you just rename them here so that you don't become confused at the end of the day. This is the trombone. This class is intensive class, right? Very, very intensive. It's taking time, but you are learning a lot from it, right? This is a lead guitar. And then this is the what? Let's hear it. I can't tell what it is. Wow, that's my arpeggio. So I would call it arpeggio. Then this is what? That's my piano. Piano. And this is what? My vibraphone. Vibe. Then you go here. You can give any name you like to it to, depending on what you want. This is my synth. This is my synth pad. Okay. And this is my main pad, right? So let me just write pad like it was in the channel rack. And this was. This is beat, all beat. So I'll name it beat 1. Beat 1. And this what? This is beat 2 because there is no conker and other stuff inside. Beat 2. And this what? shaker element. Let me just name it shaker. Shaker elements. Oh, what did I type? Sorry. Okay, shaker element. Then what's this one? Same shaker element. The other one is the main. Okay, shaker element 2. That's for the intro, right? So let me make it shaker intro. You know, I love to do this in case you leave the project for a long time. You can come back and you can still work smoothly without struggling with what is this, what is that. Once you watch it, you can just tell this is what I have here. Alright, so it's good to always name your stuff. When you're working that way, you become very flexible. Now let's go back to, I guess now we are doing with our music. We are almost done. When we are done with the arrangement, then we can start thinking about what to sing on it. Wow. I want to add something here and see something. Wow. Can you see that? So sometimes you can just try something and then see how it's going to sound. Let me see if I can add my piano here. No, I think the arpeggio will do well there. Let's do the arpeggio and see. Then it changed into something. Wow. You see that? So that's how we do the mix. So I can come back with my arpeggio. I believe my conga can come in there. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. My conga should come up a bit. This is how we do our mix. So sometimes too, after the artist is done with the singing, you can rearrange all this stuff, but for now this is what I have. I'm copying the chorus section back here. Somebody would ask that my synth pad is not inside. I'm bringing it in. Now let's see how it's going to sound there. I'm not feeling it, right? But in the chorus, it's going to work with it. Let's go. Now we are leaving something behind, right? Who can tell me what it is? The piano, trombone. That is where the groove of the song is, right? Can you see that? So I want it in the chorus, and then I'll fix a bit of it in the verse too. Comes in again, that my piano's fill. That's telling you that the beat is becoming hot and hotter again. Do you get that? The beat is becoming hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. There's one more thing we are leaving behind, right? What was that? I have my bass, I have this, I have my lead guitar. Wow. So let's fix the lead guitar and see something. So most times when I'm done with this, I just do a duplicate again for my second verse. And sometimes I do another for a short third verse, depending on the length of the song, right? You can change all this stuff whatever way you want it to. Yeah. So it doesn't matter the way I arrange it. It's based on what I feel like. You can rearrange it to whatever you feel like. You get it? So, because at the end of the day, after the song is recorded, sometimes we do a change of instrument. We move some to the other side and bring some this way. But for now, this is what I have. And then, if you have any questions, you can drop it on my handle, the Telegram group. You can drop it there. You can also drop it in the, what do we call it? I'll be putting beneath this stuff. I'm going to drop my handle.